That world is amazing, and we should capitalize that fetal period, because that is the one that determines the rest of our life. So that 10 months inside the womb is more important for me than the 10 decades that we are going to live in this world. So why we are ignoring that, right? Because we ignored that, because we didn't know. Now that we know, we have to capitalize that. We have to take it into our system of education. So that is how I started with the fetal. I thought that this is the whole model of early childhood education achievement nursery. It is up to from 0, that means from conception, say access minus 10 months. Normally the early childhood education starts around 3-4 years in a contemporary setting. But I feel it should start at least from minus 10 months, where the day you conceive, it's the early childhood education starts, right? And then up to the birth, and of course after the birth up to end of your 5 years. So that is the fetal and early childhood nursery. So it's called FECAN. This is the model that I am proposing, right? And we have run this in Colombo for the last 10 years, and we found very successful, beautiful, and model, and the achievements were so surprising to me. I saw some results that even I didn't expect, right? I will share those few things with you all. So we call it a fetal and early childhood achievement nursery. That's the model that I'm proposing. And also this, again, is not only as a medical doctor, more importantly, the medical, being a pediatrician was my career in the past. But once I came to become a student of the Quran, I changed my career. My job is a pediatrician. My career is learning the Quran and exploring the Quran. So that became a career. So I changed that career, and with that, I'm going on this. Okay, so where did I get the inspiration for that? For the FECAN model. So the inspiration came from the Quran, not from my science, not from my medical science. As you know, this Surah Al Imran, this ayah, this is in context with Maryam alayhi salam. What does Allah say? إِذْ قَالَتْ إِمْرَأَةُ إِمْرَانَ رَبِّي إِنِّي نَظَرْتُ لَكَ مَا فِي بَطْنِي مُحَرَّرًا فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي. Come, sisters, yeah. So in this ayah, very clearly, إِذْ قَالَتْ إِمْرَأَةُ إِمْرَانَ, the Imran's wife, that is Maryam alayhi salam's mother, right? Yes. Oh. The Quran doesn't mention the name, but it says wife of Imran. She was saying something that is very powerful. What she said, Rabbi, oh my master, inni, indeed me, nazartu laka, I am going to submit or sacrifice. Oh, it's a very deep word, not just, that means I put it this way, I have a project plan for this, right? I have a project plan for this. I have submitted or sacrificed. What I did that? Laka, to you, mafi batani, what is in my tummy? See, now I'm going to, I think that this mother, while Maryam was inside the tummy, has a project plan. She has a plan. The plan didn't start when the child is 5 years or 6 years or all over. Sometimes some parents, they think about their children after all over, when they get a call, or your son is smoking and all that, then they think, oh my God, my son is smoking, my son is going with that girlfriend, what is going with that boyfriend, right? That's not the time to put a project plan for the son or daughter. It is before the child is born. That's what we learn from this. That's the inspiration we get it. Mafi batani muharraran. In what hal? Now this is, if in this sentence, this is a hal, right? So in that is liberated. You liberate. So I have a plan where I'm going to bring this child up, liberated from all these ideas, the isms and all thoughts and everything, right? All material, everything for you, my Lord. So that's the project plan. So the problem, so the parenting, the training starts before birth. So this is the inspiration that came to start this. Then, again, I'll tell you one more thing. So this is the fetal life that we are going to talk about, and that's the beginning of this early childhood education new paradigm. Then we know, I went to a place, right, where it's a Islamic movement center, right? Islamic education is there. In one area, I saw a nursery like this, right? On the other side, I saw madrasa, Quran madrasa, reading. It's not the madrasa to learn Sharia. It's just for the Quran madrasa, maktab type, just for reading the Quran, memorize the Quran, and that's it. That we know that, So this looked very primitive, very crowded, and there's one or two start there. They are not very smiling and welcoming. One had a cane also in the hand, right? That's on the one side. On the other side, a nursery, very welcoming, very nice looking, and very, is state of the art. So then I asked them, so okay, do children who learn this, do they need this? Yes. These children who learn this, do they need this? Yes. So why do you keep this separated? Right? And one is in Arctic, other one is in Antarctic actually. Honestly, in every aspect. So why can't you keep it like a two sides of a coin? Right? So that is when I thought this is time to connect all these three. By doing that, the Quran madrasa will be upgraded. Right? It's not the Apple 1.0. It remains so for the last 200-300 years. So let's upgrade it to now version 16 Pro. 16 Pro? 17 Pro, okay. So this is it's the same Apple product. We are not changing anything. We are teaching Quran. We are giving that, but the version is 17 Pro. Because we need to upgrade to that version, because only that version we can download AI and all this stuff. So all these softwares to run, we need to upgrade that. So that's the whole idea. Okay. Then just very briefly, early childhood. Oh my God, I don't think I'll have time to do that anyway. So fetus to 5 years, very quickly. The other point is this. Prenatal and first 5 years, the critical phase of human development, I would say. I am clearly saying more important than the 10 months is more important than the 10 decades that we live. And, right, so you know that 64% of the brain volume, the size of the brain, 64% develops before birth. You know that? Now, out of our 100% brain that we have, when I was born, the very first day, I already had 64% of my brain. That grew during my life in the womb of my mother. 64%. We completely missed that, right? And we are trying to do with the balance 36%, right? Even let me tell you what happens to the balance 36%. At 1 year, you know what is the brain size? 86%. 2 years, 93%. 3 years, almost 99%. 4 years, done and dusted. So we put a child to the 4 years, send a child at 6 years to school, brain growth is already done and dusted. So what are we going to fix it now? We missed the opportunity to put that, to build that brain, right? So there is a way to do that. So it significantly influences future cognitive, emotional, and psychosocial outcome. Yet most education models overlook this prenatal phase, particularly in Islamic or faith-based context. So the FECAN model responds to this gap by presenting a comprehensive early education framework that begins in the womb. FECAN integrates contemporary embryological, fetal, and neuroscience developmental child psychology, Islamic spiritual tradition, and contemporary and advanced early childhood nursery education strategies into a continuous program from conception to age 5. So what we do is we guide pregnant mothers and fetus to connect to the Quran. So that's one thing that I do is, I'll quickly show you some small gadgets that we use. Yeah. So what we do is we have a few gadgets that we use in the fetal time. We have an ultrasound scanner, so where we do a scan so that the mothers can see, the mothers and fathers. We ask both of them, right? Both of them have to come, and they can see the baby, right? And we ask them to feel the child. So they will, if you can do this, the test, if you speak to the fetus after 20 weeks, right, the fetus can listen and they will react. Have you seen that? I'm sure the mothers would have seen that. But many fathers don't approach. But what I suggest is talk to the baby, talk to your fetus. That will be very interesting thing to do. And also one of the tests I did was we give this, what do you call, the belly buds. We call it belly buds, right? I'll show you that. Yes, all right, thanks. So what you can do is you take these to yes, mom and baby can hear the Quran. So before the baby is born, the baby can listen 3 times. I have a baby, he's now 9 years old, right? I did the first trial with that child. So during the pregnancy, that child, the fetus, listened to the Quran, entire Quran 3 times, right? That child is wonderful. Now, even now, when the child listens to the Quran, he's very excited. We have done this example, this experiment. See, now what we did was this. Child, let's say you play the lady's voice, right, and leave the child, a baby, just born baby, and monitor the heart rate, and the respiratory rate, saturations, and the blood pressure, constant monitoring. Then you play the tape. So it's a normal heart rate, normal blood pressure, just going on. And the moment the mother's voice comes, you see the heart rate going up, the blood pressure going up. Why? The fetus is excited. Why? How does the fetus know that this is the mother's voice?
They can identify it.
Yes, because the fetus heard that all the time. The fetus can hear from 20 weeks. So we capitalize that ability of the fetus. So what we do is we keep these 2 in the tummy, right? And there's a connector here. You can connect it, and then the mother can listen also. And then just you play one of your favorite qari. Then keep that qari for the rest of the child's life. The child will be connected to that qari and the recitation. It will be a wonderful experience. Not only that, I saw these children are growing and developing. Oh my God. See, normally you expect a child to walk at 1 year. So I have a child in my fecund. That child walked at 10 months. Normally you expect a child to talk 3-word sentences at 2 years. This child started talking around 1 year and 8 months. That is defying all the textbooks, because we started this. It was really, really fantastic experience. So the guide pregnant mothers and fetuses, and also I do one more thing. So they can see the baby, and also they can listen. So this is something we call fetal Doppler. So what we do is the fetal Doppler, they can just keep this in the tummy, and then you can listen to the fetal heart. So that when the mom and dad listen to the fetal heart, they emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually, all in every way they get connected. So we need to develop that the aspect. Okay, so that is sorry about that. Okay, so to stimulate the baby's brain while experiencing spiritual benefit, support early neural connection in the developing brain through chronic audio exposure. Fecan model views the womb as the starting point of education, where emotional, spiritual, and intellectual development are integrated. So it integrates education with Quranic values and spirituality, balances scientific structure with spiritual meaning, fosters intellectual, ethical, and emotional growth. If you need any scientific papers and from where did I get these from, so we can share that paper. 5 minutes, okay. Right, so the structure on these three units, one is fetal unit, then we have infant and toddler unit, preschoolers unit. So basically, I have to go a bit faster. So what you do is the fetal unit is there, the mothers come, there's a, we have a bigger chair so that they can comfortably sit, and then we have the training program for that. Then the infant and toddler unit and the preschoolers unit will be like a standard AMI type of Montessori, and with some advanced version is there, and also is fully integrated with the Quran Madrasa. That means it's like this: a child will learn the Quran. Say, if the nursery is for 2 hours, I think it's for 3 hours. They will learn the Quran, and first 10-15 minutes, the next activity is sensory development or fine motor development activity, right? And one child who was doing a fine motor development activity, the next session is for the child to learn the Quran, right? It's all well integrated. So that, now if you ask a child, do you want to go to nursery? Yes. Do you want to go to Quran Madrasa? No, right? Because it's not child friendly. So now we make it, no, why do you want to keep it in 2 places? When the whole idea is to develop the child intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, right, with the child development and all that. So we connect this, it's an integrated model starting from fetus to that. So, so the fetal unit is, this is what I was talking about. Sorry, I have not much of a time. Then we have, one of the things that we take it very seriously is what we call the fetal HPA axis. So it's quite scientific, this one. So if you are interested in scientific, then we can do that. That means, the stress, you think that the stress, we get stress, of course. But do you know that the fetus gets stress? Yeah. There's a syndrome called fetal stress syndrome, right? So if a child get a fetal stress syndrome, the brain development is damaging. So if you get a brain damaged child already, how do you, whatever the level of education you give is not going to take it, because the child has no capacity to take that. So make sure that we have the nicer product, right, where we can stimulate them. Okay, so I think my time is running out. So this is an infant and toddler unit. I would just play this video, 2 minutes, and I'll finish that, right? Because, yeah. This is just to show that what we had in our. It should from the. To open, I think it's go to the. Oh yeah. This is the child who came, the mother came with the fetus, with the pregnancy. So that's the child is really, we have one of our role model child. Now he is 2 years. So this is the regular, nursery stuff. Now this is the boy who came with as a fetus. And this one is, this is the one. Yes, it's amazing development. MashaAllah. And also this, we have many units. One of the units that we have is called connecting to the nature, because one of the chronic problem here is this: every child has a a named plant, and every child is connected to all these plants. We have the connected to the nature unit. We have another unit that I'm trying to buy. It's the forest school. We need to children, because the children are not exposed to enough nature. They are not interacting with nature. That is causing chronic nature deficient disorder, right? There's a thing called chronic nature deficient disorder. So that is causing lots of learning difficulties in children. And so those things are also, we are trying to fix it by connecting these children to nature and taking them one day to a forest, so that one day of the nursery will be in the forest. They just connect with the nature, they run, they climb the trees and all that. So that is, in a nutshell, is what the fetal and early child achievement nursery. There are a lot more things to learn about. This is after 30 years of research and work, so I can't, presenting in 20 minutes is a difficult task, asking me to bring the Pacific Ocean in glass. So I hope that I did that, and thank you very much for giving that time. Okay.
Thank you very much. It's a little bit late for me now, but maybe in my next slide. So Sakala, thank you very much for that very insightful opening up for us. And I don't know how many of us know of schools that have this type of approach. And imagine what kind of impact we can have if we embrace these things, mashallah.